Hi everyone, this is the final video of our character customization series in Unreal Engine 5.6. Today we'll wrap up the whole system, collapsing our nodes into clean functions for tops, bottoms, dresses, and accessories, adding clear comments and hooking everything to UI buttons so it's easy to expand later. By the end, you'll have a professional, organized customization setup ready for any future outfits or colors. Let's finish strong. All right, guys. Welcome back. Today we're going to wrap things up and organize our whole customization system so it's cleaner and way easier to scale. Up to now, we've been typing plain text IDs whenever we wanted to swap an item. That's okay while testing, but it's not the most reliable long-term. So now we'll switch to an enum system. This will make everything easier to maintain and add new gear without breaking our logic. First, open BP third-person character and create a new function. Call it enum to item ID. Next, create a new enum called eAccessoryID. Add entries for all the items you want. Things like white boots, cat ear, rabbit ear, foxtail, round glasses, pink bow shoes, navy. All right, friends. Now we're going to add our entries to the enum. This is where we teach Unreal the actual names of every item our character can wear. And I know this step might look a little boring, just typing names one by one, but honestly, I find it kind of special. It's like when you're organizing something meaningful in real life. I remember when I was younger, I loved to keep a little box with all my favorite things. Tiny hair clips, stickers, a favorite bracelet. I'd label each little section so I'd always know where everything belonged. Cat ears go here. Rabbit ears go there, dresses here. It was my way of making chaos feel beautiful and easy to navigate. That's exactly what we're doing now. We're building a closet for our character. Each name we add is like saying, "Hey Unreal, this is where the pink bow shoes live. This is where the white boots live." So later, when the player clicks a button or changes a style, Unreal doesn't get confused. It just opens the right drawer and picks the correct thing for them. And honestly, I think this is what makes customization systems feel magical to players. They don't see all this behind-the-scenes labeling we're doing, but because we took the time to set it up, everything feels smooth and effortless when they use it. So while it might feel like we're just typing names right now, what we're really doing is creating a little organized world for our characters' outfits. One where everything has a home and nothing gets lost. Now, back inside the enum to ID view function, add an input of type eAccessoryID and an output of type name. Drop in a select node, connect your enum input to it, and for each entry, give the real material slot name. For example, cat ear accessory _ cat ear 01 _ cloth, white boots n, etc. Okay, friends, now we're at one of my favorite little blueprint tricks, the select node. This thing is like a secret control center for our customization system. What we're doing here is teaching Unreal, if the enum says cat ear, use this exact slot name on the mesh. If it says white boots, use that one. If it says pink dress, boom, that's the right slot. Think of it like this. One day I went shopping for clothes. I walked into this cute little store and I didn't know where anything was. I just told the shop lady, "I need something cozy for winter." She didn't ask me for details. She smiled, vanished into the back, and came out with the perfect warm sweater. Then I said, "Actually, I want something fun and fancy for a party." And without missing a beat, she disappeared again and came back with the cutest dress. That's exactly what the select node does for us. We don't have to write 1,000 instructions like, if it's cat ear, then do this. If it's rabbit ear, then do that. If it's pink dress, blah, blah, blah. Instead, the select node is like that magical shop assistant. You give it the category, our enum, and it just knows where the right thing is stored and hands it to you instantly. And this is where it gets fun. Because if you decide to add something new later, like say you just made a pair of epic combat boots or some new cute accessories, you don't have to rewrite a big messy pile of code. You just add a new entry to the enum, drop its slot name here in the select node, and our whole system is instantly aware of it. No chaos, no spaghetti code, just clean and organized. Honestly, I love this step because it's like labeling your closet. You open it, and instead of digging for hours, everything is in its perfect spot. Sweaters here, coats there, dresses there. When we want to swap something on the character, we just say its name and boom, the select node knows exactly where it lives. It's such a tiny thing, but it makes your whole customization system future-proof and so much easier to maintain. Then head over to your WP_character_C widget. Where we used to type the item ID manually, call the enum2idfuncs function from our BP character instead. Tip: set the enum2ij function to pure so it stays nice and clean. Next, tidy up your blueprint by collapsing each category into its own function. For example, make a dress function with an input called dressID, type eAccessoryID. Hook it up to enum2GitHub material from map and connect the right slot arrays. Then just duplicate that function for tops, bottoms, shoes, accessories. Swap the enum entry and slot arrays as needed. Finally, hit play and test each category one by one. Everything should now be organized, scalable, and super easy to expand. Adding a new item is as simple as adding an enum entry and updating one map. All right, friends. Now that we've got all these wires and nodes doing their thing, let's take a deep breath and make it neat and easy to use. Right now, everything is a little scattered. We've got our enum to item ID set up, our material maps, and all these connections. It works, but it's not very friendly, is it? Think about it like your kitchen counter after cooking a big meal. You've got plates, spoons, spices, everything all over the place. It worked while you were cooking, but now it's a mess. So let's clean it up. We're going to take these nodes and collapse them into nice, clear functions. For example, we'll make one called dress, one for tops, one for bottoms, and so on. That way, when we want to change something later, we don't have to dig through a jungle of wires. We can just call a clean function that says exactly what it does. I love doing this part. It feels like organizing your clothes after laundry day. You know when you fold each shirt and place it into its drawer, then suddenly your whole room feels peaceful? That's exactly what we're doing for our blueprint right now. One day, I remember reorganizing my work desk. I had cables, pens, notebooks all mixed up. It felt overwhelming. But when I finally took a few minutes to put each thing in a labeled drawer, my brain felt lighter, and working became so much easier. This is the same thing. We're making our blueprint breathe. Plus, by collapsing these nodes into functions, you future-proof your system. Want to add more bottoms later? Just update the bottom function. Want to tweak how dresses are applied? Open the dress function. No need to hunt around and reconnect wires. It's clean, reliable, and way easier to expand later. So let's tidy this up now. I promise, once you collapse these into neat little function boxes, you'll look at your blueprint and feel that same moment you get when you finally clean your desk or closet. It's not just about code, it's about peace of mind. If you're new to Unreal, this might feel abstract at first, but once you get it, you'll feel like you've unlocked a secret power. A function is basically a reusable little machine that you build once and can use anywhere in your blueprint. Imagine you're cooking. Every night you have to chop vegetables, wash them, season them, and throw them in a pan. If you had to explain every single chopping step each time you made dinner, you'd go crazy. Instead, you just say, "I'm going to cook veggies," and your brain runs through the whole process automatically. That's what a function does in Unreal. It packages a set of instructions so you don't repeat yourself. You give it inputs, ingredients, and it gives you an output, your finished dish. Now, inside blueprints, there are two main kinds you'll see: normal functions and pure functions. A normal function is like cooking dinner and then leaving the kitchen a bit messy. It can change things in the world. When you call a normal function, it might update variables, move your character, change the game state, spawn an actor. Basically, it does something. It's like flipping a light switch. You don't just ask what the state of the light is, you're actually changing it. A pure function, though, is different. A pure function is like asking a calculator, "Hey, what's 2 plus 2?" It doesn't change anything. It just looks at the information it already has and gives you an answer. No side effects, no mess. It just returns a value based on what you pass in. Here's a real-world Unreal example. Let's say you have a function called getHealthPercentage. All it does is look at your current health and max health and tell you the percentage. It doesn't change your health, doesn't spawn anything, doesn't mess with the world. It's pure. Unreal can even run pure functions automatically whenever it needs the result, because it knows they're safe. Now compare that to a normal function like damagePlayer. When you call it, it actually lowers the player's health. That's a side effect. So it's not pure. It's something you have to trigger intentionally. So, big picture. Functions equals reusable steps you can call anywhere so you don't repeat yourself. Normal functions equals can change things in your blueprint or world. Pure functions equals only calculate and return information. Safe, predictable, no side effects. We used a pure function for enum to which frame because it's a simple lookup. Give it an enum, get an item ID back. That keeps our blueprint clean, fast, and safe. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Whenever you just need an answer, no world changes, no spawning, make it pure. Whenever you need to do something, move, change, spawn, set, make it a normal function. Once you get into this habit, your blueprints become cleaner, more organized, and way easier to maintain. Okay, friends, let me share something really helpful and a little personal. When I was younger, I went to a small local festival where everyone was showing their crafts and art. There was this one lady selling handmade journals, and she told me, "If you want someone to enjoy what you've built, make it easy for them to understand. Leave small notes, tell a story, make it friendly." That stuck with me. So here's my pro tip for your blueprint work. Always leave yourself breadcrumbs. Add clear comments, use clean function names, and group logic so that future you, or anyone else opening this project, instantly understands what's happening. Game development can feel like building a parade float. During the festival, it's colorful and fun. But months later, when you have to fix one wheel, you'll be grateful if you labeled where every part connects. So let's be kind to our future selves. Add comments that explain why, not just what. Collapse nodes into neat, reusable functions. Keep your enums and maps organized. This little habit will save hours when you return after a long break, or after a late night of coding and festival fun. Top category. In your widget/character graph, select the whole node chain that equips a top clear enum to iMaterial_from map, any prints/safety checks. Right-click, collapse to function. Name it top. Give it one input, top ID. Type eAccessory ID. Inside the function, use top material map and top slots to override. In the Details panel, set category to character customization, so it's easy to find in the node list. Now, for every top button, white top, dark navy top, etc., you reuse the same top function. Just pass the correct enum value. No rewiring. One function, many buttons. Bottom category. Select the node chain that equips a bottom clear enum to IO_material_from map. Collapse to function, name it bottom. Add input, bottom ID, eAccessory ID. Inside, swap to bottom material map and bottom slots to override. Set category to character customization. For every bottom button, gray pants, skirt, shorts, etc., call bottom with the matching enum. Same function, different enum done. Why this matters. You avoid duplicating long node chains for every single item. If logic changes, for example, you add an extra clear for conflicts, you edit one function and all items in that category benefit. Your UI becomes trivial. On-clicked top white top. On-clicked bottom gray pants. Clean, readable, pro. Tiny checklist so it just works. Inside top, use top material map top slots to override. Inside bottom, use bottom material map bottom slots to override. Keep the clear step targeted clear dress slots before applying a top if those overlap in your mesh. Enum to I-paired IF should be pure so you can plug it straight into material_from map without extra exec pins. Name your inputs clearly. Top ID, bottom ID, so the call sites are self-documenting. Real-life vibe. Think of each function as a labeled outfit drawer. You don't rebuild a drawer for every shirt. You keep one top drawer and just pick which shirt goes in. Same for bottoms. One drawer per category, many items, zero mess.
Okay, friends, before we move on, let's do something that future you will thank you for, adding comments to our blueprint. See all these nodes? Right now, we know what each part does because we just built it. But trust me, 3 months from now when you come back after working on another project, this will look like a mystery puzzle. That's why we add comments, little sticky notes for our future selves or anyone else who touches this project. I still remember one day I opened an old blueprint I had made late at night. No comments, just wires everywhere. I honestly felt like I was trying to read someone else's diary in a secret language. I promised myself that day I would never leave a blueprint without some friendly notes. So let's click and drag over each section and add comments. For example, the part where we convert enums to item IDs. We can comment, turn selected clothing category into the correct material slot. The part where we clear and apply materials. We can write, reset slot and applies new dynamic material instance. The part with sliders, maybe, handles color changes, hue, saturation, value. It's just like when you cook and label your spice jars. Future you will thank past you when you can instantly grab the cumin instead of sniffing every jar. Adding these little notes doesn't take long, but it makes your blueprint kind, welcoming, and easy to understand, for you and for anyone else who might join the project. Once you've organized everything, collapsed graphs into clear category functions, added comments, and swapped manual IDs for enums, hit play and test right away. Click every button, try a few items per category, swap quickly back and forth, and drag the color sliders while watching the log. Sometimes a tiny wire, a wrong enum case, or a missing array entry hides until you interact with it. If something feels off, print the enum you're passing. Print the item ID coming from enum to ihorts, and verify the slots array you're feeding into material_from map or clear. Test cameras with the back button. Confirm input is re-enabled, and check that only one outfit shows. No stacking. Small, frequent tests now save hours later. Ship the fix while the context is fresh. So guys, let's add 2 more controls to make our color system better: saturation and value sliders. In the WP Character C widget, create 2 float variables named saturation and value. These will store the live values from our sliders. Duplicate one of the existing sliders, like the eye color slider, for each, rename them, and bind their value so they automatically return the variable's current value. This keeps the UI synced if we change the numbers from code. Then, on each slider's onEqui_synced event, take the incoming value and set it to the correct variable, saturation or value. Finally, call your color update function after setting them. This will use HSV to RGB conversion and update the dynamic material instances in real time. This way, players can fine-tune brightness, value, and color richness, saturation, instantly, and our system stays clean, organized, and easy to extend later. For example, when we add hue control. Slide saturation to go from soft grayish pastels to rich, punchy colors. Slide value to control brightness from deep dim to bright lively. Use them together and it feels like real dye mixing. Richness on one slider, brightness on the other, so you can dial in exactly the look you want.
All right, friends. Before we move on, let's add comments in our BP third-person character so future us can read this in seconds. I'm boxing each area and writing a short why. Init/begin play. Set defaults, cache refs, load maps, and base mat. Clear. Hide slots with base mat. Material time map. Reuse or create dynamic MI. UI and cameras. Enter/exit customization. Little tip. Select nodes, press C to add a comment box. Give it a friendly title and a one-line purpose. Use soft colors per section. Materials teal, UI purple, init gray. These tiny notes are like labels on drawers. When something breaks, you open the right drawer, fix one thing, and move on. Let's label everything now so future us smiles, not squints. I'd love to hear what you think about the whole journey, what clicked for you, what you'd like to see next, or if this helped you in your own projects. Your feedback really shapes what I build and teach next. Thank you so much for following along, learning with me, and bringing your creativity into Unreal Engine. If this series helped you, please like and subscribe. It truly supports me and lets me keep making deep dive tutorials like this. Goodbye, guys. Take care, have a great day, and keep creating amazing things. See you in the next adventure.